For millennia, humanity looked at the stars and saw only divinity. We wove myths into the constellations, imagining the heavens as a silent silver cathedral, a place of ultimate peace. We dreamed of the day we would finally walk among them. But dreams are fragile things, and where there are dreams, there are always nightmares. We didn't find gods in the deep cold. We found silence, a crushing, absolute indifference that eats at the edges of the mind. And now, drifting in the terminal dark, the Nemesis is no longer a vessel of discovery. It is a tomb, waiting for the first scream. The air is stale, tasting of recycled oxygen and copper. The cryopods are hissing open. But the waking world is far colder than the sleep we left behind. Something is moving in the vents. Something that doesn't belong in our dreams. The silence on the Nemesis is a different kind of quiet. Not peaceful, oppressive. It seeps into your bones, whispering of things left undone and quarters unchecked. We woke from cryo in the hibernarium, the air already thick with the metallic tang of an ancient catastrophe. The medic and I, we know the score. Leave no room unexplored. Map the decay. Send the signal. I go first. I always do. The map is a twisted logic of interconnected chambers. I push aft towards the engines, my steps measured and deliberate. I chose my path with care. A careful move, trading valuable cards to push into the gloom without making unnecessary noise. Silence is the only currency that matters out here. The engine control room loomed, the air colder here. I was hoping for clarity. I found stagnation. The central terminal was dead. A malfunction token glared red from the screen, mocking my advance. Systems were down, but not picked clean. I managed to locate 2 valuable technical items, but I had to choose where to deflect the inevitable consequence of intrusion. Corridor 1 was left quiet for now, my calculations a gamble on which direction the ship would scream first. The engines were still deep in the aft, calling. There was no time to linger or search. I pushed further. My second advance took me to the armory. I was counting on security, on firepower. I found containment. The door exploration token had triggered. The hexagonal blast door slammed into place behind me. Sealed. Isolated. I was trapped in the armory. A containment protocol I hadn't seen coming. My path backward was cut off, and I was deep in the uncharted territory with only a single red item crate here to show for it. Bare pickings in a room that should have been a fallback position. Trapped, all I could do was wait, listening for the repercussions. The roll of fate, a noise roll of 4, a sharp echo in the parallel corridor, a metallic chime that said the ship was watching, and it knew which path I shouldn't take. Isolation, scarcity, and a closed door behind me. But I'm forward, and I'm still listening. Your move, medic. The rest of the ship won't explore itself. And she just vanished. 1 second, the scout was there, and the next, swallowed by the dark. I hate when she does that. I wish I knew why I hate it when she does that. I can't even remember her name, but things she does annoys me. There's something about her that I can't quite put my finger on. I can't remember what it is exactly. Maybe it'll come to me. I look down at the floor of the hibernarium and that body. Who was that? My head is pounding. Cryosickness leaves your memories shattered like glass. Was there a captain, a mechanic, a pilot? I can't picture their faces, but I know the oath. We don't leave anyone behind. If there are other pods or other survivors, it is my duty to find them, even if I have to walk into the shadows to do it. I took the parallel aft corridor, keeping a wall between me and whatever the scout was walking into. The emergency lights flickered, casting long, skeletal shadows across the grating. I breached the next room, the command center. Just a simple move this time. Finally, a stroke of luck. Ranks of dead monitors stared back at me, but the central console had power. I could control the blast doors from here if I could just... The door protocol just engaged. It slammed shut behind me, sealing the corridor back to the hibernarium. Was this automated quarantine, or did I trip a sensor? I was boxed in, just like the scout. And I wasn't alone. A noise echoed from the adjacent corridor. A 2 on the noise roll. Something was moving out there, pacing just beyond the bulkheads. I had to move fast. There were 3 emergency supply crates untouched here in the corner. I decided to rip one open instead of proceeding down the hall. My needle gun was practically useless without the right chemical compounds. Not chemicals. An energy charge. High capacity. It won't help my weapon, but it's exactly what the scout needs for her motion scanner. I keyed my comms. Scout, do you read? I'm locked in the command center. The ship is trying to box us in. I found a high-yield battery pack, though. This should be enough to juice up your scanner. We need to link up before whatever in these walls finds us first. Over. Time slips away in the void. A minute on the Nemesis is a fragile thing, ticking down towards an inevitable, violent horizon. For now, the ship holds its breath. There are no immediate threats in the blood-stained corridors, no bulkheads breached with fire. The physical structure of the vessel remains quiet. Deep within the ship's storage bays, a different kind of rot takes hold. Infested supplies. A localized outbreak in the agricultural and botanical sections, but the crew, the scout, and the medic are blind to it. They wander the sterile, metallic aft sections miles away from the blossoming fungal hazard. Ignorance, for a fleeting moment, is safety. But they are not alone. Deep in the unseen arteries of the ship, something mature shifts in the darkness. An adult organism, hunting by vibration. Its movement sends tremors through the hull, forcing the crew to hold their breath. In the armory, the scout freezes. A sound in the adjacent corridor. Close. Too close. Whatever is moving in the vents has homed in on her isolation, pacing just beyond the sealed blast door. In the command center, the medic waits. Nothing. Absolute suffocating silence. A roll of pure chance grants the medic a reprieve. The shadows around the command center remain empty. The first cycle ends. The first turn is over. The board is set. The Nemesis is awake. And the hunt has begun. It is now the scout's turn. She spends 2 cards to execute a careful move, slipping out of the armory and into Engine 3's room. By moving carefully, she manages to control her environment just a bit, tossing what I imagine to be a wrench down hallway 2 to direct the noise away from her intended path. Now, she pauses in the engine room. It's a risk to keep pushing, but standing still here is a death sentence. She hesitates, checking her gear, before committing. She spends 2 more cards for another careful move, pushing forward into the unknown. She steps into the surgery. And of course, the exploration token reveals another door. I swear, no matter how much I shuffle these tokens, the Nemesis always knows exactly when to trap you. The heavy bulkhead slams shut right behind her, sealing off her retreat back to the engine room. Seeing these massive walls and doors on the board makes that slam feel a lot more permanent. Taking stock of her new surroundings, she finds herself in that surgery room, which does have 2 item crates waiting to be scavenged, but there's a massive problem. Because of her route, she's forced to place a noise marker into the corridor ahead of her. Look at this board state. She is completely boxed in now. Every single hallway connected to the surgery room now has a noise marker echoing through it. One wrong step, one bad roll, and whatever is crawling through the vents is going to drop right on top of her. Her only choice now is to push forward on her next turn and pray she can outrun whatever is making that noise. Besides that wrench she threw, of course. Next up is the medic. She steps into Evacuation Section B, but, as always, there's a problem. A big, sticky problem. The room is absolutely coated in xenobiological residue. Slime, just dripping from the ceiling and pooling on the deck plates. I love having these specialty markers on the board, but I hate what they mean for the characters. She is officially slimed. That means if a danger roll comes up, the intruders are going to have a much easier time tracking her down. The tension just dialed up a notch. Now she has a choice. She could retreat, or maybe push into Engine 1 to get out of the muck. But looking at Evacuation Section B, it has a significant 4 white item crates available. As the ship's medic, she's already loaded with medical know-how, but what she drastically lacks is stopping power. Because she's in this white item room, she can pull from any deck, so ignoring the medical supplies and taking a big risk, she spends her second action to search, digging straight into the red military deck. And talk about a stroke of absolute luck. She pulls the prototype shotgun. For a character with practically 0 combat ability, finding this is a game changer. It gives her a fighting chance if she gets cornered by an adult intruder. There's a catch though. It only has 2 ammo. It's a lifesaver, but she has to make those shots count. She slings the shotgun over her shoulder, and that ends her turn. She's armed, but she's covered in slime and sitting in the dark, which brings us, ominously, to the event phase. The ship's automated countdown ticks down to 13. Time is bleeding away. We draw our event card, which is adaptability. Normally, the intruders would mutate and overcome a weakness here, but since we haven't discovered any of their weaknesses yet, it's a quiet moment. But this is the calm before the storm. We then move to intruder bag development. I reach in hoping for a blank token, but I pull up an adult. That means every character not currently in combat has to make a noise roll, which is both characters. The ship is waking up. Let's look at the scout first. She's trapped in the surgery room and every single corridor around her is echoing with movement. There's no point in even rolling the die. She is surrounded. The vents above her violently give way. An adult intruder drops directly into the room. because she was caught completely off guard, holding only one action card while the intruder token shows a 2. This is a surprise attack. It lunges at her immediately. I draw the attack card, Summoning. By some absolute miracle, the creature stops its strike to let out a deafening screech, calling to the hive instead of ripping her apart. She survives this ambush, but she is now locked in a room with a monster. Meanwhile, the medic hears that roar echoing through the ship. She's already covered in slime and on edge. She makes her noise roll, and it comes up a 1. That points down hallway 1-2. But there's already a noise marker there. Whatever was making that noise just found her. A second adult intruder rips through the corridor doors and enters Evacuation Section B. Fortunately, the medic is a bit more prepared. She has 3 cards left in her hand, keeping her alert enough to dodge the initial surprise attack. At the start of this turn, the ship was completely empty. Now, both of our crew members are trapped in separate rooms, staring down fully grown adult intruders. Good thing the medic just found that shotgun. I think turn 3 is going to be an absolute bloodbath. And that is exactly where we are going to leave it for today. The ship is wide awake. The scout is trapped in the surgery room with an adult intruder, and our medic, armed with a prototype shotgun though with only 2 rounds, is staring down her own adult intruder in Evacuation Section B. As you can tell, I'm leaning heavily into the narrative side of Nemesis for this series. I want to really capture that cinematic sci-fi horror atmosphere while still walking through the tactical choices that drive the game. I would love to hear your thoughts on this format. If you're enjoying this storytelling approach over a standard rules-heavy playthrough, let me know down in the comments. If the dice gods are kind, and the scout and medic actually survive this nightmare, this won't be their last mission. My goal is to take these 2 survivors through a massive quadrilogy of campaigns. If they make it off the Nemesis, we'll be jumping right into Aftermath, trying to survive Lockdown, and finally taking the fight back to the alien menace in Retaliation. But to do that, they have to survive turn 3 first. If you want to see how they get out of this mess, or if they get out of it, I should say, please hit that like button and subscribe to the Solosaurus channel so you don't miss the next episode. Every bit of support helps keep the channel growing. Until next time, keep your ammo loaded, watch those airlocks, and thank you, as always, for watching.